Hi, my name is Shiaw-rong, and today I'll be talking about a case that Apple fought the government, which I also call it the Apple privacy case. This case took place in February 2016. It was regarding a shooting that happened in San Bernardino with 16 deaths. The police believed to find an iPhone from the suspect, and during court, the FBI asked Apple to unlock the iPhone, and the judge agrees with it. But Apple ultimately declines to provide any help to the FBI. Um, the reason why Apple declines has some privacy because it contradictory with their privacy policy, and it may hurt their encryption decryption system as well. So, what is privacy though? Why it is so important and why it matters? So, privacy is to express an ability for a person or a group to isolate themselves from the public, or in a way, the information regarding themselves to not be disclosed to the public view. And another definition could be said a person or group to perform an anonymous act without being viewed or discussed by other people. Which this kind of leads to privacy. Basically, it's the right to control one's personal life to others, basically. So, with privacy, people allow themselves to enjoy their personal life, to not to be disturbed by others. And also, people will gain the ability to disclose information about themselves or make interaction with others by their own will. So, why does privacy matter so much? As an example, a university student may act in a different way when he is meeting with a professor or a friend than being by herself, and which could the person be more energetic and polite when he's in the public, and maybe he will be more relaxed when he's alone. This example shows us one important trait of the privacy, which is the ability to control one's information to the public. So from this example, we can see the importance of privacy and how they matter to us in our everyday lives. Without privacy, we will not be able to enjoy ourselves that much without being watched or judged by the public, which may lead to some lower self-esteem and anxiety. So right now I want to jump back to the case. So with Apple's action, Apple declined to assist with the FBI, which one of the reasons it's the privacy policy, and also this may lead to creation of a master key that could unlock every iPhone, and they think this will be a big breach for one's privacy. But was Apple right about this decision, though? From a normative view, what we ought to think that should happen, it's kind of in two ways, which I can use utilitarian way to explain and autonomy way to explain. But from what I think, the normative way would be more turned into the favor of utilitarian thoughts, as maybe people will think that it is the right thing to do, like the public think it's the right thing to do to disclose these information because these may be threats that cost to our nation. So, as a utilitarian, we want to think about the greater good. So, counting all the people that is involved, with only breaking one's privacy, we can save many others. Maybe Apple was wrong in this way. And in an autonomy perspective view, Apple might be right, because if I was the person who's being checked, I would not want anyone to check my phone without my permission. Then, so here's what the government does after the hearing. So FBI did not get any access from Apple, so they went out and found a third party to write a master key for the iPhone, and the government also agreed to not to disclose this decryption method and will destroy it after this one-time use. So, was the government right about his decision, though? So, from a utilitarian way, thought, yes, this is the right thing to do, because it serves the greater good. It helps us with it could save many more lives. But from an autonomy way, it is the wrong thing to do, because it breaks one's privacy, and without the person to consent to use these information. So, to conclude on these, so the action that the government takes and Apple takes, they have their own viewpoints, and it both stands in an ethical way, and so why does this raise an ethical issue, though? Mainly is because ethically, the government has its own reason to be correct, and it's a utilitarian. It will serve the greater good. But as Apple thinks, in an autonomy way, they are correct, because they want to save everyone's privacy. So this is kind of like two ethical thoughts that hit having contradict with each other, and this is why it has such a high rate of ethical issue. And it is really hard to value these actions to see if it's correct or not. So I want the people who's like listening to this video to think, so what do you think the government should have done, and what Apple should have done? Are they correct in your way, or are they not? Thank you for looking at this video, and that's it. Thank you. And here are some of my references that I use for this video. Thank you. Have a good night.